Hello and welcome back to Brewer's Bastion, your weekly supplier for monstrous mayhem and the nastiest nightmares you can serve at your table. This week's monster is a masterful disguise artist and has the acting skills to back up those false faces. So, let's not waste a moment. After all, if you don't find them out soon, perhaps the next face they wear will be yours. The tavern lights shine, and its guests laugh in blissful merriment. It has been a long journey, and one you are grateful to rest from for an evening. However, just as you are settling in to enjoy some drinks, the tavern door opens, and you see a familiar face. A companion that you had once believed to be dead walks into the bar, grinning ear to ear as she sees you. It's impossible. It's unthinkable, but you would know that face anywhere. She sidles up to you, sporting the same outfit she was wearing the day you buried her. The only difference is a small black orchid she wears in her hair. You chat for hours, reliving old times and regaling one another with stories. After a few too many beers, she holds you steady and takes you out to sober up. Except, wait, how did you get outside the village? And why is she holding on so tightly? As you try to extract yourself from her grip, you find that you are grasped tightly by vine-like appendages, unable to escape no matter how hard you struggle. You are slowly dragged beneath the rich soil that is covered in black orchids, just like the one that you saw in her hair. The last thing you see before disappearing beneath the soil is her face, twisted in a malicious grin, as the plant that puppets her body drags you down to its roots. This is the Death Orchid. Death orchids are the perfect blend of beauty and horror, a tangle of carnivorous roots and vines crowned with delicate, alluring flowers. Flowers that all too often reanimate the corpses whose graves they decorate. These sinister flora thrive in graveyards, abandoned towns, mass graves, and battlefields, anywhere where the dead lie waiting beneath the soil. But these aren't just mindless predators. Death orchids are intelligent, cunning, and, most disturbingly, cruel. They root themselves deep underground and worm their vines into nearby corpses, reanimating them as puppets. Through these puppets, the orchid can mimic voices, mannerisms, even the little quirks and smiles a lost loved one once had. The plant can even replicate memories if given enough time to consume the puppet's gray matter. New victims are lured in by what they think is a miraculous reunion, only to be dragged screaming below the surface, where the orchid's true body devours them alive. But these vindictive plants don't always kill right away. Sometimes the orchid keeps its puppet in play for days or weeks, slowly gaining the trust of its prey. That false sense of safety makes the eventual betrayal all the more devastating, and for the death orchid, all the more satisfying. They hunt not just for food, but for entertainment. These horrors begin as death orchid saplings. Smaller, deceptively delicate plants with vibrant blooms. Lacking the strength of their adult forms, saplings rely on hallucinogenic spore puffs to convince passerby that their puppets are friends or allies. These chemical illusions only last a short time, but they're enough to get a victim close. Saplings usually hunt lesser prey such as livestock and pets, but will venture to attempt to take more intelligent creatures when able, practicing their puppeteering and honing their ability to imitate their prey as they grow. As the plant matures, it abandons spores entirely. Adults still subsist primarily on larger and more nutrient-rich livestock, but prefer to hunt more intelligent prey when able, as they provide far greater entertainment. Adult orchids are masters of deception, weaving long-term ruses through their corpse puppets. These puppets can drag prey underground with terrifying speed, and once a victim is below the surface, it's usually too late, as the buried victims take massive damage from the orchid's carnivorous roots at the beginning of each turn. Even when the puppets are discovered or destroyed, the orchid can always make new ones. Its once-per-day infect corpse ability allows it to take any nearby corpse and animate a new puppet. It can control up to 2 of these puppets at once, and even has legendary actions allowing these puppets to grapple players. Perfect setup to drag them below to its deadly roots. Although the Death Orchid's total HP isn't terribly high for a CR8 monster, the real difficulty is finding a way to actually defeat it. Damage dealt to the Orchid's puppets only translates to half of that damage to the Orchid itself, and its roots lie beneath the ground, safe from the weapons and spells of most players. They'll abandon their puppets long before they'll allow themselves to be destroyed by damage dealt to the animated corpses. And then, if the party wants to truly defeat the Orchid, they'll have to find some way to reach it. So, while surviving an encounter with a Death Orchid is possible, actually vanquishing it is far less likely. For DMs, the Death Orchid isn't just a combat encounter, it's a roleplay trap. Use its false visage and luring puppets to draw the party in before the combat starts. Maybe a long-lost NPC from a character's backstory suddenly appears. Maybe a fallen comrade from earlier in the campaign is somehow alive, calling for help. Perhaps the party even stumbles into a small village which they do not realize is entirely populated by overlapping orchids, controlling their puppets to form an entire community dedicated to attracting new, permanent residents. So, the next time you spot a familiar face turning to greet you after a long and tragic separation, remember, in the world of the Death Orchid, reunions between lost friends are often a grave matter indeed. As always, if you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments how you would use this floral fiend in your game. Connect with me on Patreon for full stat blocks, and if you need custom monsters to fit your needs, hit me up on Fiverr. Until next time, may your wit be as sharp as your sword.